Right. Yeah. So next slide, we are talking about the STLC, software testing life cycle. But before that, I will be talking about the SDLC because first of all, it comes on the SDLC software development life cycle. So in the software, first of all, what happens basically in the software development life cycle? I have given a view here as well, difference between STLC and STLC. This is again an interview question. They will ask what is the difference between STLC and STLC. Okay, both are kind of similar only, but there are some difference in that because automation is also a complete process and development is also a complete process. But what is the difference in both of them? So if we talk about the software development life cycle, what will be happen in the starting is what there will be happening of a requirement gathering. So in that case, what happens in company, all the client and business analyst and a scrum master. Okay, so all these three members will be sit together. They will do some meeting, and they will be happening the requirement gathering is there. Okay, there are some functionality that this has to be developed in this particular sprint, because now things, see what happens, the development is happen in a sprint model, I mean in the agile way. So in agile way it is there, like, if development is happening, so testing will also happen in the parallel. So in that way we can achieve the good productivity in the less span of a time. So that's why agile methodology is came now. Earlier there were the using about the that waterfall model. So what was happening in waterfall model, right? So requirement is there, after that they were fully developing the code, and after once it is getting developed, at that time tester was sitting idle. He was not doing anything. He was not writing test case, or he was not able to test anything. So development was not delivering the small piece of code to tester to test it. They were fully developing the code. Once it is getting full developed, only after that they were sending to the tester. So at that time, tester was sitting idle and there was no work for him. And once tester is sending the doing the testing, developer was not doing anything. So in that case, there was a less productive was coming in the waterfall models. That's why there is came as an agile methodology. In agile methodology, what happens is like it happens the work as in a sprint based, and in the sprint, whatever code is getting developed week by week, they will move it to the tester to test it, so that tester will develop small functionality and developer will always work on the such small functionality in the sprint, and we can achieve the good productivity in that. So everyone follows the sprint and agile methodology nowadays. Okay, so any doubt in this type of that methodology that company is getting used?
No, Rahul.
No, Rahul.
Yeah, that's good.
No.
So that's why I told you about the drawback of the waterfall model. That's why no one is used the waterfall model now, because I'm working in last 4 to 5 years. I have never seen that anyone is working in waterfall model. Mostly are using, this agile only, because this is a very good productive SG. I mean, so client is also happy with that, because client always want some new functionality should come as soon as possible in the life, so that they do their business. So
Yeah.
for that particular agile is basically the methodology. With the help of it, that we can achieve a good productivity with less spend of a time.
Yes. Also in waterfall module, right? Or a model, once the product is developed, then if tester finds any issues in the initial stages, then it will be useful, right? Because once the product is developed completely, then the tester is finding some issues. It's just waste of time, cost, everything, right?
Right, right. Because uh, see, even though, see, client is paying to me, I'm a tester. Client is also paying to the developer. He's not paying me on the daily basis. He's paying me on the monthly basis. If I am sitting idle, definitely there is a loss for the client only. If a developer is getting a lakh of salary, 20 lakh salary, and he's not doing anything for a 10 or 15 days, so definitely client is going in the loss. and even though he's not getting much productivity, and even though if we are using waterfall model, if bug is coming at a later point of view, there is a complete rework on that. If there is a requirement is not matching what has been developed, and again he has to do the rework on that, a lot of effort has been wasted already in that. Business analyst effort has been wasted, developer has been wasted, tester effort has been wasted. But if we are doing in the parallel development and testing in parallel, so in that case no one effort will be wasted, and immediately tester will report to the developer that this is the wrong functionality has been developed. So and immediately he can correct it, and the productivity definitely will be increased in that.
Yes.
Right. Okay. So in the SDLC, first of all, the first phase is basically the requirement gathering, where client, business analyst, and Scrum Master will sit, and they will decide which functionality will be getting developed in particular this sprint. And once this is finalized, and there will be a particular tool will be there. Okay, so where we will be write down all the requirement, and we called it as a task there. So this is the task, this is the new task, this is the new task. We divide it as a task on that particular tool. So in that tool you will see that Scrum is there itself, and Jira is also there. In the Jira we can maintain all the requirements. So in the Jira we write down our all the requirement gathering is there, and we done that. So once that is done, so what Scrum Master will do, and he will schedule a meeting with all the managers, I mean already managers, and the developers and testers also sit there in that particular meeting. Then we do the some analysis, like this functionality is there, how much time we can develop this functionality, how much human effort it will take. So human effort in the company will talk about the hours based, like this functionality will we can achieve in the 8 hours, we can achieve in the 10 hours, right? So because every day like they count as a 8 working hours for a particular man, and based on that they count and divide that particular task between the multiple members. So in the analysis we see the complete analysis of the requirement, what we can achieve, what we can't achieve, how much time it will take, how much effort it will take, right? So all the analysis will be there. If any developer or tester is going on the leave for some days for the future and that is coming, so we have to count that kind of thing also at the time of analysis, that this tester will be there, so we will be having only this much man working hours will be there, and based on that we will take the requirement for that particular sprint, and then we will proceed further. Otherwise we will say that we will not be able to achieve that much requirement in this particular less span of time. Maybe we can send them to the again back in the backlog. So we call it as a backlog that we will develop in the next sprint. So that also we'll do at the time of a analysis only. So once all the analysis is done, after that designing will be start for the development. So they will be start designing how they can achieve that particular functionality, because there is a proper workflow is there for the particular system, for the particular application, right? So in that case they will do the designing for that particular requirement. Once all the designing is done, they will start the coding for it, whatever language they are using, because development can happen in multiple language. So either the backend is backend coding or the front end coding. Backend coding mainly they use Java, C sharp, Java, Angular JS. So that kind of a language they use for the backend, and for the front end they use basically HTML, GSS, CSS, that kind of a code language they use for the coding. So all the type of a testing they will do, backend and front end test coding, sorry, yeah, coding they will do, and they will develop the requirement, and they will do some unit testing also at the time of a coding. Okay, functionality unit testing they will do at the time of a coding. Once that is done, they will send it to the coding. So yeah, this coding they will send to the tester, they will do some deployment kind of thing, I mean, and tester will do the exploratory testing. In that, if they will find any bug, the cycle will be round and round here. So for some time this is the bug they will resolve, and again they will send to the testers, they do like that. And once testing is completely done, then final deployment will be happening in the production. So that requirement will go in the live after all the kind of a testing, either it is in, because testing also will happen, no, in the multiple environment in the company. First there will be a developer environment, after that there will be a tester environment, SIT environment, right? And after that there will be a UAT environment. And okay, after UAT there will be a pre-production environment. After the pre-production environment, it will go in the live. So all type of a testings will be happen in this particular testing phase, and then finally it will go in the production, in the deployment. So that's how it will be happen in the SDLC. So this is fine, but now we will be talking about the testing, right? Suppose there is a phase of a testing. So STLC is a phase of the testing phase. Okay, we don't have to bother about this one, but we will be talking about the testing, right? So that's why there is a software testing life cycle, STLC. So software testing life cycle is a sequence of different activities performed during the software testing process, and it is a fundamental part of a software development life cycle, right? So STLC is a part of a SDLC, right? But STLC consists of only the testing phases. It doesn't have anything related to the development of a requirement. Okay, so STLC is a part of a STLC. If we see about the STLC, so I have put a picture also for STLC, right? So same thing will be happen for us, because this is again a process for us. Suppose I am a lead of a particular testing team. So there should be a proper process for the testing. Otherwise, it will be very difficult to track and manage the testing part as well. Everything is there, complete process should be there. So what I will do in that, I will do requirement analysis. First of all, we as a tester, we will understand what is the requirement is there that has to be developed. We have to complete fully understand with the help of, they will provide you the template also in the requirement, that the UI should be look like this field should come here, this button should come here, there's many fields should be there, right? So everything template requirement will be there for you, and based on that we will do the requirement analysis. Okay, and we'll see, yeah, this we can do, that how we can do, and everything will be understanding of the requirement basically. After that we will do the test planning. So test planning is the, manual phase of a testing. So mainly, the if you see, manual testers do the test planning. As a automation tester, mostly we don't do that test planning, but manual testers do that, and they also do the test case development. So test case development means to say they will write down the manually test case. Test case development here don't means to say automating the test case. So that's why in the syllabus I have included, if you see, automation testing life cycle also I have included. But this is mostly about the generic one, software testing life cycle I'm talking about. So once the test case development is done, development means to say here is like a test case designing is done, they will write down the step by step test case. Most of the positive or most of the negative test case they will write down, and in the validation, in the last, they will every test case they write down some expected output should be there matching with the actual output. So that kind of validations will be there in every test case. Once they will do that, they will do some no test environment setup will be there. Test environment setup means to say that we should be ready with our test data, we should be ready with our environment and all that kind of a thing. So once that is there, we have to execute the test cases, and after that, if test cases execution is done, then we will close our testing cycle closer, we will be closing in that. So this is about the software. So if you will see, we are just only talking about the software testing part, we are not talking about the any development part. But this is, if you will see, this is again matching, somehow matching with our STLC only, like only the part is different. In this we are talking about the development, in this we are talking about the requirement of our testing. Any doubt in that?
No, Rahul.
No.
Okay, thanks. Let's talk about this bug life cycle. So So this bug life cycle mainly come at the time of execution. So if you will see like a bug life cycle is a part of our text execution. Okay, so I am actually dividing one by one. So STLC is a part of a SDLC.